Welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Pro-Rasslin Podcast, episode 1, week... I don't know, it's not even week ending. It's like, okay, work day week ending, the 10th of the 10th of 2014. And now I'm not American, so that means, and we're going to do it the proper way, the 10th day of the 10th month of 2014, not the other way around, alright? Alright, so, this is the first episode ever of the Pro-Rasslin Podcast. I'm your host, Premier Bankshot. Go check out my gaming channel in the description if you are into that kind of stuff, and if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. Share this video on Google+, share it all over Twitter, Facebook, whatever the hell it is that you use. Tell your friends about it. This is the first episode. Alright, so here's how it's going to go. First, we're going to review Raw this week, and then we're going to go straight into the analysis, the thoughts, the whole Farhan thinks of all this stuff. Alright, so Raw this week, what did I think of it? And I'm only going to cover like the main matches, because I really am not a supporter of Raw going to 2 hours, because it's filled with just jobber matches, which I really just do not care about. So let's get started. Alright, the first segment, it was a good first segment. Rollins played it brilliant. I really liked how Rollins played it with, you know, the stick shoved up his ass gimmick. Was extremely well played by him. It was entertaining to watch. It was entertaining to watch him get all angry and stuff. And he played that very well. When Cena came out, attacked Rollins, yeah, that was a good end to the segment. I thought it was a good end to the segment. But then, Rollins runs away, goes into the crowd. I just loved it when Ambrose just appears looking real confused. That was just absolutely hilarious. I was dying when I saw Ambrose's face. Brilliant segment. Loved it. But it was ruined. Slaughtered. Killed. Massacred. AIDS. It was ruined when the Authority came out, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And they this was really shitty. This was really shit. The writers of this Raw are just so unbelievably uncreative. That, you know, on the creative team, you have to be creative. They weren't creative in the slightest. When they came out, I predicted what they were going to say. You want Rollins and all this stuff, you know, they said like, oh, you want Rollins, yeah, you want Rollins, didn't hear you, you want Rollins, yeah, alright, fine. And when they said, so tonight you're gonna be facing, and from that moment I knew, okay, Dean Ambrose and Cena versus Randy Orton, Kane and Seth Rollins. I completely knew it, and, you know, I don't like this. I really don't. I don't like seeing Seth Rollins put with Kane and Randy Orton, because Kane, in my opinion, should not be on my TV screen. Kane's had a brilliant career, and you know what? They're killing his character, and he's allowing it. Seriously, it is embarrassing. It really is. He doesn't move around well in the ring anymore. He is incredibly boring to watch. Orton needs something else, because this is just not working. I really don't care. There were times in the past when I'd like get super stoked to see Orton on my television screen when he was actually a good heel, not whatever the hell this is. And putting Rollins with those two is just not good. For me, it just puts Rollins down. Like, Rollins, he's not on that level. He needs to be way up. So, I didn't like the announcement of that. And I predicted the disqualification outcome as it's been for the past how many number of weeks. I'm bored of seeing the same team with the same outcome. The disqualification outcomes is so boring. It has been boring television for the past how many weeks. It's horrible. Alright, the 6-man tag. Now, normally, or sometimes I skip the 6-man tags because I just don't bother. I watch the Usos because they're really fun to watch. But I really loved this. Ziggler and the Usos versus the Dust People and Cesaro. Now, this was a very good start to the show. Great match to kick off Monday Night Raw. Very exciting to watch. They all worked with each other really well. They made it very fast paced. I loved it. They gelled extremely well together. They worked absolutely brilliantly in the ring. Completely fluid, very fast paced. Highlight of the match, of course, a triple super kick. That was very good to watch. It was a 5-star matchup. I really think that match was good. And yeah, that was just an overall really good start to the show. And then I just skipped the irrelevant segment of the two women talking because I'm not from the USA. So I don't know these people, and quite frankly, whenever Adam Rose comes out with a bunny, it's like a knee-jerk reaction. It's just an automatic reaction. It's just skip, skip. That's basically what I did. All right, the next matchup, Mark Henry versus Bo Dallas. All right, I didn't care. If that's as simply as I can put it, I really just did not care one bit. It's boring. You don't need to put Mark Henry unnecessarily down like that. You really don't. I mean, Bo Dallas is not getting anything off of it because no one cares. I mean, if you want to put Bo Dallas over, put him up against someone actually of, someone who's relevant at the moment. I like Mark Henry, brilliant in the ring, has had some good matches, great storylines in the past. But really, this is just unnecessary burial of someone who's already kind of buried, which I just don't get. So Bo Dallas is not gaining anything off of this, and it's basically just a waste of TV time, so yeah. The next segment, or I think I'm just picking off the relevant segments here. Alright, the Cena and Ambrose segment. Great promo, I loved it. When people say I hate the IWC, when they all go, Cena sucks, man. Cena can't wrestle. He can't talk. Look, here's the thing. There's no one in the WWE at the moment on that roster who can go from happy, jokey, happy-go-lucky to serious as Cena can. Cena is brilliant on the microphone. There is no disputing that. When people go, yeah, 5 moves of doom. Yeah, previously he was very, very just conservative with his moveset. He didn't venture out, but now, I mean, when Cena needs to put on a good match, he puts on a damn good match, and there's nothing you can say about that. Cena has had some of the best matches with CM Punk, Jericho. I mean, the matches he's had with likes of Triple H, Bray Wyatt. I mean, these are good matches. When people say Cena can't wrestle, he deserves a slap in the face. Yes, Cena's got a bit of a boring character now, but you know what? He can make it go out of boring for a very good period of time, and then it goes back to boring. I'd love to see him heel, don't get me wrong, but I think he's great for the moment. Alright, great promo, good job on the mic by both. They matched each other really well. I think they had great chemistry when they were talking. It was really good. And the ending was hilarious, and I really think this was a good job by creative, or I don't know if this was not scripted or not, but this whole thing with Ambrose just saying, I'm hungry, I want a hot dog, and just leaving, that was hilarious. That adds to the unstable gimmick extremely well. In my personal opinion, I think they need to add something more to Ambrose. They really do need to add another part of a gimmick to Ambrose, because if you look at it, Steve Austin, what did he have? He had the rebel gimmick attached to the beer drinking son of a bitch gimmick, and then he had the redneck gimmick. You know, that's 3 things you can add to a character. The Rock, loudmouth, talk trash, great wrestler and all this stuff, and sometimes fought the Authority, sometimes, went with the Authority. It was a good... He had stuff attached to him. CM Punk's had a lot of stuff attached to him. He's had the best in the world. Straight edge. Multiple-time WWE champion. Leader of the Nexus. The rebel character. And then he's had the sort of heel character, the supervillain character, which he's had with Paul Heyman. He's got so much in his arsenal. They need to give Ambrose that one little thing, like how Austin has the rebel and the beer drinker. You need to add something more to Ambrose. That's just my personal opinion. But great segment. I really like it. I didn't exactly care about Tyson Kidd versus Jack Swagger because I don't see what was the point of the match. No storyline build, nothing. I mean, it was a good match, don't get me wrong. It was nice. But I know it was mainly to focus on Tyson Kidd and Talia and Total Divas, which no one gives 2 shits about. So, I mean, the match was good. It was short, but it was sweet. Out of maybe, I'd probably give it a C+ or a B-, whatever. The next segment, not The Rock versus, but the Rock and Rusev segment. I loved it. Brilliant. I loved it. The Rock made it absolutely stunning. It was brilliant. And I was really surprised the fact that Lana and Rusev managed to hang on and actually keep up with The Rock during this promo. Even though they didn't talk much, they actually came up with some good counters, which were good, and there was an entertaining promo. I mean, The Rock calling Lana a Soviet streetwalker was hilarious. I just think it was really, really good. He made it hilarious, the whole Derek Jeter stuff. The Rock, as always, just made it hilarious, had the entire crowd in his hands, and made it supremely entertaining. I mean, do I think Rock's going to face Rusev? I don't think so. Rusev isn't at that level to face The Rock yet. I just don't. It's way too fast. I would probably see this 2 years down the line. I just don't think it's right now. But what I do think would be right is they need to bring another Russian or an Eastern European. This is just my personal envisioned fantasy thing, which I've just been thinking about. I mean, they need to do this. They had the whole foreigner gimmick back in the 80s with Nikolai Volkov and then the Iron Sheik. But I think what they need to do now, I mean, there must be like 100 different Russian wrestlers trying to get in, or Eastern European, in that you could just racistly label Russian. And there must be hundreds of them. Make a stable. I really want to see something like, if this would be my dream stable, if Vladimir Kozlov was still in the company and not in that stupid gimmick with Santino, and actually, you know, the Russian Spetsnaz soldier gimmick, the Moscow Mauler gimmick, I would love to see Vladimir Kozlov, Rusev, Lana, Nikolai Volkov, and probably a third Russian in there. That would make a great stable. A Russian stable, a foreigner gimmick stable. Instead of doing the same boring foreigner gimmick, why not add a stable? Why not give a stable and call it the KGB or something? That would be awesome. So, that's what I think. But will Rusev fight The Rock? I don't think so. I really don't think that's going to happen just yet. I don't think that's going to happen just yet. Alright. The final main event. The match, super predictable. Extremely predictable. The wrestling was good, alright, fine. Kane was sluggish as usual. Boring to watch as usual. Well, you know, I like Kane, but recently, you know, just Kane needs to retire. He really does. He's not relevant, and when you're not relevant, retire. It's like, you know, Jamie Noble and the other guy, I actually forgot the name. I really did. But it's just, why are you there? You're not relevant. I know Kane's a bit more relevant than them, but his character's being killed completely. I mean, the whole Mask Kane gimmick, just completely taking the mask off again and again and again, is supremely boring. And I just don't want to see that happen again. So, yeah, I saw the whole disqualification thing coming. I was so bored throughout the entire thing because I knew this was going to happen. And I didn't know Ambrose was going to come out. And I did. I did know Ambrose was going to come back. But the whole hot dog stand thing, that was entertaining as hell. That's something which I'd expect Ambrose to do. That's something which adds to the Ambrose gimmick, to the whole unstable crazy gimmick. I loved it. I loved the way that they used the whole that whole thing, the hot dog stand thing, the whole mustard. That was entertaining. I really did like it. I mean, the match had some good wrestling in it, alright. But predictable as hell, boring television. What I did like, though, at the end was, again, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, probably, they are boring. I'm sorry, they're so boring to watch. I just can't be bothered to watch them. But when they came out, and then they delivered the whole, you know, stupid promo, and then they're like, you know, you're gonna both get Ambrose, you're gonna both get a shot. You both gonna face each other. And I was like, okay, then. I saw this happening. I saw the whole Ambrose Cena first match on the card in Hell in a Cell. And then whoever wins gets Rollins. Right, that's a good match. But what I loved was the fact that Dean Ambrose straight away just attacked Cena, plants him with a DDT. Great finish to the show. It was a quite crappy show, apart from the Rock segment, and apart from the first segment. And really the opening match, the rest of it was garbage. Really, it was so irrelevant. Really was. The story writing, the whole script writing, the creative team need help. Alright, that's the Raw review done. Now on to the whole speculation, creative, and just my personal thoughts on everything. Alright, the first thing which everyone's screaming and crying about, and everyone should be screaming and crying about, is Lesnar not defending the title until 2015. I can see Hell in a Cell having the most little pay-per-view buys possible because... Wait. God. Anyway, a pay-per-view is meant to have a championship match on it. A championship match has to be booked on a pay-per-view. It has to be the main event. That's the way it's been. Look, it's 2014 going on 2015. This isn't the 70s. This isn't the San Martino days. This is not the Honky Tonk Man days. It's not those days. You have to have championships being defended. The major championship of the entire thing being defended at every single pay-per-view. I know it does, puts a little bit of trampiness to the title, but this is what we want. I don't want to have to wait for a championship match every pay-per-view. After 3 pay-per-views, I don't want to have to wait. And the fact is, the whole card at the moment, the whole roster at the moment is absolutely... Well, the mid-card has to now move to the top card for the majority of the next few pay-per-views, which is going to be absolutely horrible to see, because there's nothing of worth. There is nothing. I mean, the whole Seth Rollins versus Cena or Ambrose thing, alright, there's one match. Where's the rest? I mean, okay, you're going to put Miz versus Ziggler again. You're going to do the whole Sheamus versus Cesaro again. I mean, it's going to just be terrible booking. It really is. It's going to be a very boring, lackluster Hell in a Cell. I mean, I just don't think these whole pay-per-views with the whole match type things are working. Elimination Chamber, Hell in a Cell, these just aren't... Well, keep Elimination Chamber, but Hell in a Cell and all the rest of these need to be removed. These are meant to be storyline ending stipulations. These are not meant to be pay-per-views. It's as simple as that. I just do not think Hell in a Cell's ever been a good pay-per-view. I don't like it. So, that needs to be changed. That needs to be changed quite quickly. And the whole thing with Lesnar not defending the title until 2015. Look. In 2014, which is what? If you do maths, 40 years after the 70s. Look. You cannot have the championship being defended that infrequently. And the fact is, Lesnar doesn't even show up on Raw. That makes it worse. Having the championship not on TV is absolutely stupid. I mean, I was a big fan of having Lesnar hold the title back when he first won it. I was stoked. I really was. I thought, this is a good change. I wanted Lesnar as champion. But the fact is, I thought Lesnar would be defending it every pay-per-view. I thought Lesnar would be on TV more often. You just can't have a champion off TV for that long. And now they're taking Paul Heyman off TV. Why is that, you may ask? Well, this is how stupid WWE creative really is. They thought taking Paul Heyman off TV would make the crowd forget about the WWE Championship and make them forget that Brock Lesnar isn't defending anything. If anything, because Brock Lesnar doesn't actually talk about anything, people are just going to be like, well, they're going to notice it even more now that Heyman's not there, which I think is absolutely stupid. Heyman needs to be on WWE television. I need to see him there every week, because seriously, Heyman is a genius on the microphone. He is a wrestling promo god. He just really is. He makes the show entertaining. He is one of the 3 segments on a show, one of the 3 matches, whatever. No, one of the 3 main focal points of a show is when Paul Heyman grabs a microphone. You're taking that away. That's stupid. It really is. I mean, the mid-card has to be now put up to the top card, and really there's no one there. I mean, Ziggler with the IC title, I can see a really good match, but will it have the same relevance? No way. And this stems back all the way to when the championships were unified. I said it was a bad idea, because the upcoming stars are not going to have a single thing to defend. It's not going to give the mid-card anything. It's not going to give the up-and-comers anything. What good is it to give 2 titles to a man who isn't even on the shows? He isn't even on TV, isn't defending at pay-per-views. What's the point in giving the 2 titles to him? It's just... the younger talent, the mid-card, have no opportunities now. What, the IC title and the United States title? Really? Garbage. It's garbage. It really, really is. I mean, it's boring as hell. SmackDown has gone down the drain. It really has. I sometimes don't even bother watching because really there's nothing to watch. I mean, it's just a bunch of jobber matches, Raw highlights, and a lackluster main event. You need to have the World Heavyweight Championship back. It needs to happen. There needs to be a cruiserweight division because you have so many cruiserweight wrestlers in there right now. Dolph Ziggler, probably a cruiserweight wrestler. Sin Cara, completely irrelevant, needs to be a cruiserweight wrestler. Tyson Kidd, completely irrelevant, needs to be a cruiserweight wrestler. And then you have the NXT guys, Sami Zayn. Then you have the Adrian Neville. He needs to be in the cruiserweight. You have 5 cruiserweights in there right now. Then you have Jamie Noble possibly making an in-ring return. Look, 6 people in the cruiserweight division. Where's the cruiserweight title? Put it back in. Then you have other guys. Look, you have Big E Langston. Then you have Dolph Ziggler. Then you have, Sheamus, Cesaro. All these people. A second title needs to be added in, which is the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm sorry, this is not working. The WWE Championship on its own as a WWE World Heavyweight Champion thing, it's not working. It's just not going to work for much longer. It's not working now. People are already complaining, and it's only been, a few weeks into Brock Lesnar's reign, and he's not going to be defending until 2015. Pretty much the next few months are going to be irrelevant then. There's literally no point watching. I'm really pissed off with this. Creative better sort themselves out. They need 2 new championships in there. They need to bring back the World Heavyweight Championship. They need to bring back the Cruiserweight Championship. The Intercontinental Championship needs to be boosted as to the fucking limit. Hideo Itami, who needs to be called Kenta and not Hideo Itami because Vince McMahon is a right-wing Republican racist who just thinks, oh, every foreigner must have a foreigner gimmick. Jinder Mahal must have a turban. Kenta must have some fresh Japanese name. Then, what? It's been going on for so long. Evil foreigner gimmick. And it's this thing, it just happens in American culture. Even for evil foreigners. And it's boring to watch, apart from Rusev. All the rest of them have been so garbage. Pandering to pathetic US nationalism or USA. No. It's pathetic. It really is. And it angers me so much that really, really good wrestlers come into the company and are completely killed off by evil foreigner gimmicks. Just like Jinder Mahal, just like Vladimir Kozlov, just like all the rest of the foreigners, just like Daivari, just like the Muhammad Hassan, just like the Great Khali. Every single one of them killed. Bullshit. Alright. The next thing which I wanted to talk about was in terms of pushing people. Now, considering Lesnar's not going to be on TV for a while, this means that stuff needs to happen. You're not going to be relying Cena, you're not going to be relying Ambrose, you're not going to be relying Rollins all the time. You only have 3 top people at the moment with Reigns injured, so that kind of means that, you can't exactly have a triple threat match every time and you can't really put them all in the same match. So Cena's basically got nothing to do, or Ambrose or Rollins has nothing to do. I keep burping for some reason, I'm really sorry. But anyway, here's who needs pushing right now. Cesaro needs a championship right now. They need to give him something. If they bring in a second championship, they need it right now. Alright, Cesaro needs to be pushed. Ziggler's doing well with the IC title. He needs to hold that for a bit. Who else? Sheamus with the United States Championship is just meh. I think he's above the IC, above the United States title, but yep, he needed some time away from the top mid card and the top card. He needed some time away from that. I think he's doing all right now. He's putting on good matches. The whole feud with Cesaro is good. The Miz is hilarious. I love it. Really, The Miz and Ziggler. It's a really comical feud. But I just don't see it going anywhere. And the other thing which I need to rant about, Damien Sandow. Look, I feel so sorry for this guy. I really, really do. He is, honest, it's so tragic. He's a good wrestler. Great on the microphone. I just loved him to pieces. He was one of the funniest people there. You give him the Money in the Bank briefcase and you make him lose. What is the point? And now you've completely killed him. He's been slaughtered, buried to the ground. It's so tragic. It really is. Whatever it's called, the creative team on WWE are tragicians. They are tragic. They really are tragic. I cannot stand them. Why kill a guy like Damien Sandow? Why kill a guy like Ryback? I don't see the point. And here's the other thing. You want a heavyweight division. You've got a heavyweight division. It's right there. You've got Ryback, who's taking some time off. You've got Big E Langston. Big E Langston needs to be built as the next Brock Lesnar. He is so good. Big size. He needs a better moveset. He needs to be pushed. He is so brilliant. I cannot emphasize this enough. Big E Langston needs to be pushed. And he needs to be pushed hard. Really badly needs to be pushed. So you've got Ryback. You've got Big E Langston. You've got Cesaro. You've got Sheamus. Then you've got Damien Sandow needs to be in there. You've got an entire heavyweight division. You've got an entire cruiserweight division. I cannot see why they aren't putting these titles in. It's so boring having only one championship being defended. What happened to the days when Chris Benoit was champion, Eddie Guerrero was WWE champion? What happened to those days when Batista was World Heavyweight Champion and John Cena was WWE Champion? This adds relevance to the show. Vince's whole complex of having SmackDown as the weakest show is so outdated and stupid. He complains about ratings. He complains about no pay-per-view views. He complains about the company losing money. Here's why. No ratings. Because simply put, the shows are boring. No one's going to watch 2 hours of Raw when you just have jobber matches and you have everything building just to one championship and just having mid-card IC title and US championship. There needs to be more. It's as simple as that. And pretty much that wraps things up. It's just gone to 27 minutes. So if you did enjoy this one, don't forget to leave a like, rating, share this all over Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all your WWE, IWC forums, all of that stuff. Share that all across the internet. Subscribe to the Pro-Rasslin Podcast if you are new. And the next episode will be next Friday. So if you guys want to come, Friday or Saturday. So if you guys want to see that, do subscribe and leave some stuff in the comment section below. What do you want to see on this podcast? Remember, this is your podcast too. So yeah. Thanks for watching. This is your host, Premier Bankshot, signing out. Follow my Twitter, that's in the description below. And subscribe to my other channel, which is also in the description below. Anyway, I'll catch you guys on the next one.